Hey guys, we're going to continue on with our pixel extravaganza here, focusing on school supplies, to create a freehand backpack. Let's make a 500 by 500 pixel artboard here, press create, and we'll just jump right in with our normal things. If you're joining me for the first time, I'm going to go to Window, Workspace, and Reset Essentials, just so we're all looking at the same thing. Click the little three-dot drop-down menu here, click the little hamburger menu there, press Advanced, and that will allow us to choose a rectangular grid tool. Pixel art is formed by a series of square pixel elements, so each one of these little squares in our grid is going to form our own little pixel here. The 500 by 500 pixels in terms of its width and height, and 100 by 100, this is a bit new for those of us who've been with us this whole time. Press OK, and we'll just gonna center this into the artboard and reduce the stroke to nothing, and I'm going to make this into a live paint object group by going to Object, Live Paint, and Make. That way, now when we grab our paint bucket tool, or our live paint bucket tool, which is under the shape builder tool, if you don't see live paint bucket, you can click there, and then you can just kind of fill in these little grids wherever you want. So I'm going to create this backpack. The backpack is going to be at an oblique angle. So I'm going to see if I can't rough this out, and hopefully it won't be terribly painful for us to do this. I'm going to start off with a kind of a small-ish square, just sort of a square like so. I'll clean this up in just a second. And we'll make this down towards the bottom corner just so we have some room to grow with the backpack. And we'll just make this into a square, Shift and X to switch our fill and stroke, and then we'll just erase the mess we made of this square here. And then I'll just go back to my black, and I'll just click once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and then I'll make another line going across. Go to this corner, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's good. Hey, I guessed really well. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shift and X just to erase anything you don't want. And then one little line here to form like the zipper. Alright, so then what we'll do is we'll go maybe across, like say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we'll do the same thing over here. We'll go across. In this case, probably like more like this is 4, so we'll go like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Because this is kind of moving this way. And we'll go up from here above this backpack, and I will definitely be cleaning this up in just a second. I'll clean it up as I go. So Shift and X just to erase any lines that you don't want. And then let's make a little, let's Control R, just get a ruler just to create a little guide to where we want it to stop. So maybe like right about here. That way we can just go back to our live paint bucket tool and just kind of know where to stop without having to eyeball things. Alright, there we go. And what we'll do is we'll, on this side, just go maybe like 1, 2 over, or maybe 1, 2 up. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we'll just sort of stop there. And we can go across. Shift and X. Fill this back in. Oh, here we go. And on the other side, we'll go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we'll go across. All right, there we go. Cool. It's looking like more like a building, but it's okay. It'll work out in the end. And then we'll go up, maybe a little bit more. Maybe we'll go like maybe 8 or so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can go up from here. Clean this up as I go. And I'll do the same thing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And cool. And then from here we can just kind of mimic this little curve here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then go across like so. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 right here. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is about where we want to stop. And we'll just end it there. Shift and X just to clean it up. And so to meet this corner to this corner, we can just create a series of just straight lines like this. We'll just make another little zipper going across like so. Okay, cool. All right, so that's our backpack. Just in terms of the form of the backpack here, let's create this little loop that you use when you hang it on like the coat hanger. So I'll just go up, say for instance 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then go up again over 1, 2, 3, down, and then we can go back up 1, 2, and then 1, 2, go across. 1, 2, go down. There we go. That's our little guy there. Let's make the straps. we can just kind of make one little strap here. We'll start like maybe over this way and go maybe across like 4, and then we can go down like maybe 2, and then 2, and then 2 again, and then go down like so. And then do the same thing here, just go across and then down 2, and then sort of, let's maybe just go down 1 and then kind of go straight down like this. Okay, and we'll just kind of go down until we get maybe halfway down, and we'll end this at a little nub there. And we can make a little buckle for it, so just a little buckle like that. And then we can make our little strap that attaches it to the bottom of the backpack, maybe 3 by 3. Like so, and maybe a little loop going off like this. I want to add one more thing. I want to go over here to just the bottom and just create this little leather bottom that a lot of backpacks have. So I'll just create this little rectangle down here. Go straight down like this. Shift and X. And then up. There we go. Cool. All right, so that'll be our little bottom of the backpack there. We can even curve it around. Let's add in, say, a little curved edge here. All right, so we'll make the little front-facing part of it curve down here, and then we can just sort of add in a little series of dots there. Okay, cool. All right, so now we've got that. Okay, cool. So let's make our little palette here. So just pick any color you want. Let's go over here to our square. Just grab a little square, and let's make a square. Let's change it to whatever color you want. I'm gonna make mine kind of a teal color here, and then what we'll do is we'll just Alt drag this down with our Move tool here, and I'm gonna change this. Make it a bit lighter here. There, make it a little lighter, and then make this a little bit darker. Go over here to my HSB. So click on my little color picker, HSB, and then pull the brightness down a good deal. And then what we'll do is we'll just go over here to Object Blend and Make. And what we'll do is we'll go to Object Blend Options, and we'll change it from Smooth Color to Specified Steps and change it to like maybe 3. And so now we've got a good choice of our colors here. So I'm going to make just the light come from maybe like this side over here, just so it looks as if like there's a, highlights on this side and then shadows over here on the bottom corner. So what I'll start off by doing is just get my paint bucket tool, Alt on the keyboard just to click once on this little palette here, double click, Alt on the keyboard, click on that. Alt on the keyboard, click on this. All right, so now we've got our kind of base colors here. We'll do the same thing over this way. Alt on the keyboard, right there. Alt on the keyboard, right there. Alt on the keyboard, like that. Okay, cool. So now we've got the sort of base elements of our palette here. So like I said, I want the light to be coming down from like the top corner here. So what I'll do is I'll just get my little slightly darker button, and I'll just slightly darker color, and I'll just maybe choose where this is going to be, and I don't have to be this super specific about this, and I'll just make a little spot right here and just double click, and then I'll just choose this darker color here, and I'll just add 3 colors: highlights, midtones, and shadows. And then maybe have a little, I can have this be like right there. All right, cool. And so that's starting to get a little bit darker there. And then same thing here. What I'll do is I'll just grab this color here and just make sure, I'm going to watch this. I'm going to hold down the Alt key and grab onto this color. Right, so I want this to be a little bit darker, so I'll just click on that, and I'll just make this be kind of like the highlight area here, and then I'll just add in a little bit of a circular shape like that, fill that in, and then have my darker color be right here. So there's that. All right, so we've got this little sort of highlight kind of thing going on here. I could even like maybe make this a bit more. Okay, tell me what I do. I'm just gonna Alt. I'm gonna click on this right here, okay, on the keyboard, and I'll just continue on with like making this corner here be a little bit brighter than everything else, and I'll just sort of add in like so, and then I'll click on this, and then add this in like so, And cool. All right, there we go. Neato. So the same thing kind of go over here. What we'll do is we'll just, just sort of mimic this sort of highlight pattern that's over here. Sample this color, and maybe just make this slightly more dark over there. Alt on the keyboard, sample that. And make this a little bit darker right there. And then we can add the same little thing here. Just click on that. Add this in. And then add that in right there. All right, so we got that going on there. Cool. And then let's add slightly, maybe a little more highlights there, a little more shadows to this little side here. All right, there's that. Cool. Neato. All right, cool, fun. Now, this is not quite done. If we want this to really look good, to really look like it's a real gradient kind of change, we need to add in a couple little dots here or there just to make it seem as if it's sort of diffusing out that are not connected to each other. So just make sure this is not all that connected. Same thing here. I'll click on this and just add in a couple little dots here or there to make it seem as if the light's sort of diffusing out. And click on this here. And click on this and just randomly scatter these little dots throughout just to make it seem as if there's this little gradient diffusing out past. So the light looks like it's sort of scattering here. We have a smaller area, it's going to be a smaller diffused area. All right, and then let's grab this right here. And once again, sort of scatter this around. And then finally, I might add like one more color down over here just to make it seem as if there's a shadow being cast by this pocket. And we'll just sort of add in a little shadow right there. And then once again, kind of diffuse that out. To our swatches, and I'm just going to choose brown for the leather, and I'll just put a brown there. Maybe even darker, so I have somewhere to go. All right, and grab a brown, a little lighter brown here, and then we can just sort of scatter in some of this darker brown right along the bottom, and then make this even darker over this way, like there's a shadow kind of being cast by this little pocket. And then, yeah, cool. All right, so I'll just make the darkest brown here be the back of the strap. And this guy right here. And then I might add in kind of a grayish color for this guy. Sort of gray color there. Just click on that. Okay, cool. All right, I love this backpack. This is a fun little backpack. So I'm just going to erase my palette. I'm going to go over here to Shift and O, grab my artboard and size it up here, 1500 by 1500. I want to make sure I save this. I want to save this for later, so I'll save this. File, save it as Pixel Backpack Example. And then we can come back to this later on. And 1500 by, ooh, not 15,500, 1500 here. And let's just size this whole thing up. Go to Object Expand. And sort of move this up some just to fit in. And then we'll add in our background here and make it, let's think here. So I'll make it sort of a pinkish color, purplish color. Let's go to my HSB, just desaturate that. A bit lighter. And then we'll kind of add this down here. Cancel. All right, that's cool. Let's deselect everything here. All right, so let's go to File, Export for screens. Let's go to artboards. Make sure artboard 1 is selected. Call it Pixel Backpack. Last name. Export the artboard there. And let's take a look-see. What do we got? Pixel Backpack, last name. Oh, I love that. That's so much fun. I love that. I love that a lot. All right, this little guy got lost, but I think that's okay. Kind of like makes it seem it's a little more rounded and neato. All right, cool. All right, so we're gonna use this for our kind of final project here, where we combine all of our school supplies together and we make it into a fun little message here. All right, well, cannot wait to see you guys produce. I'll see you guys in class.